Writing's just one of those things that I'd love to do, but haven't found the time.
Well, but you have the theater company.
Yes.
So let's talk Syzygy.
Yes, Syzygy.
And where does that name come from, and what does it mean? It's S-Y-Z-Y.
G-Y.
G-Y.
Yeah.
It's hard. Syzygy.
And there's actual meaning to it, and it actually, well, I'll start at the beginning. I'm a kind of a dog freak. I love dogs. And I had a dream when I was in grad school that somebody gave me a dog. And in the dream, I named it Syzygy. And so I thought either I'm just kind of crazy in my dreams, or that must be a word that I've heard somewhere. So I got up in the morning and I looked it up, and it actually means the alignment of three heavenly bodies, as in an eclipse. And sure enough, 3 weeks later, my girlfriend gave me a dog. And about 2 months after that, I was at a playwrights festival, and the woman sitting in front of me was Megan Terry, and she had written the first play that I was in. And I tapped her on the shoulder, and I thanked her for her work that brought me to the theater. And the gentleman sitting behind me tapped me on the shoulder, and he said, "I saw that production, it was great." Wow, actor, audience, and playwright all lined up.
3 people.
And the two events next to each other kind of stuck in my head, because in all the live performing arts, that's the kind of special alignment, is the artist, the creator, and the audience, which is so critical to live performance. And so when I first produced theater, that Syzygy had always been in my head, and so that was the name from day one.
And your wife founded it with you?
Yeah.
You're the artistic director. What does an artistic director do?
Well, you learn pretty quickly when you become the artistic director of a theater that you don't do as much art as you thought you were going to do.
You have a lot of...
it's a lot of business, a lot of administration, a lot of going out into the public, and as I'm doing now, representing the company. But artistically, I'm responsible for choosing the shows that we produce, for choosing the directors.
But it all doesn't come from your company. You go out into the public and bring people in.
We do. We have a company. We have
an ensemble. You do have a company. And so tell me a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, you know, the whole idea for Syzygy for me came from, there's certain actors, directors, designers that I've been fortunate enough to work with over the years that I've always just said, I want to work with that person again. And I thought the best way to make sure that happened was to form a company of those people.
Oh, and you got them? You got those people?
I have a lot of them. In fact, the first time I produced theater was in 1990 in Dallas, and a wonderful actress named Judy Blue, who still lives in Chicago, came from Chicago to do our last show here in Los Angeles.
Oh, she did.
And
but is she called part of the company then?
And she is part of the company because she's one of the people I always most want to work with.
Even though she doesn't live here?
Even though she doesn't live here.
Oh, I see. I thought the company had to be here and they were like on call all the time. And
well, there's a little bit of that going on.
Is there?
And Judy, for example, is coming closing weekend of our current show to usher because she loves the company, you know, and she cares about the company. But at the same time, we also hold open auditions for all of our productions in Los Angeles. And
so anyone can come?
Absolutely.
Do you always use a company person to do something? Are they always involved?
We try to make sure that each production has at least 50% of the company
Oh, that's
involved.
what I wondered.
Yeah.
In what way? Lights, scenery, acting?
Well, we've been really lucky with technical and design work that almost all of the time our design work comes from within the ensemble.
Yeah, so that's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're more aware of what's going on if they're building the set.
Yeah. And we have great designers. I mean, one of our designers has won an Emmy for lighting. And
oh, I see.
so we have great designers. And then when it comes to actors, we try to make sure that half the cast comes from within our company.
Oh, I see.
And then other than that, we open it up to people from outside the company.
So do you choose them, or do they audition to be in the company? You choose them.
Well,
I see you smiling. You choose them.
They audition for our productions.
For the productions, I
And
see.
if you're cast in a production and you come and we sense that you're part of the family,
yeah,
that you are one of those people who I can see myself 20 years from now, I still want to work with you, then you'll get an invitation to join the company.
Do you have your own theater?
Right,
are you renting, or what do you do?
Right now we're a company in residence at GTC Burbank, which is not our theater, but we're also working on establishing a permanent home. Right now we're looking at Glendale, California, because they're losing one of their major professional theaters is leaving Glendale.
Oh.
And so we'd like to kind of fill that void there.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Now, in your directing, do you have a particular style? Do directors have a style that we can say, oh, I knew that was Martin's play the minute I walked in?
I think for some directors, absolutely. I don't know. I don't think in my case that would necessarily be the case. I'm very text obsessed. I try to strip my directing down till what's left is only what's there to serve the author's intent. I don't like to necessarily draw attention to some clever idea that I had.
You mean like in their movement or in the way they say something?
In the lighting, you know, or for example, our current production, which is called Goblin Market. Originally, I thought I was going to use puppetry.
Uh-huh.
And then at some point I read the script again and I thought, you know, that's just me trying to be clever as a director. I don't think it really serves the story.
I see.
So I cut it. And other than that, I think I'm mostly known for, because I started directing as an actor, actors, and I consider myself really blessed, actors really seem to like to work with me.
Because you knew how to act.
Right.
And you can put yourself in their footsteps.
And I seem, based on what other people say, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I seem to do a good job of getting great performances from actors, and they really seem to love working with me, which I feel, like I said, really grateful for.
You must have learned some of those things at the American Conservatory in San Francisco and at Stanford and at Lincoln, at Lincoln Center. Were those places all helpful in your career?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I can't even think of, first of all, those were phenomenal places that are among the best and fondest memories of my life. But I can't even think of a really bad production I was in where I didn't learn
places?
something,
Yeah.
you know. But absolutely, and especially ACT, that the years I spent in grad school there were a really special time for me in my life in terms of developing as an actor and learning a lot about what I use as a director and about the ideas I wanted when I formed my own theater company.
Yeah, so that really helped. Well, we think that you and what you're doing for the theater community is great, because we need to have people who go to the small theaters and support that. And I thank you for coming on and talking.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And also I want to thank Deborah Cheshire for bringing her beautiful photo and having it on the set today. And we'll see you next time at the Joan Quinn Profiles. Keep writing to us at 777 South Figueroa, 44th floor, Los Angeles 90017.